Shortly, the Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. When they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the national anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Pujimulinawul, everyone. Good morning and Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Wallamedical. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it, and so he enrolled his daughter, Bulungari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired knowledge to lobby and, for a time, secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by the strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing but the tools they carried, made shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. So there was no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents or mortgages, no jails, and no homelessness. Our lands were maintained in their natural state with fire and responsible harvesting, and our waterways were kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So remember, this is not a dream or an ideal. This was normal life for us and for the longest time. And there's little reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. But we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is normally good, and we are naturally a happy people. I'd also suggest, though, you share your gifts with the rest of us, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you got you this far. Do that, and I'm confident we can put together a country and a world that we can be proud of again, and one that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you, and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, could I also acknowledge today we're very fortunate and privileged to have with us the Ambassador of Egypt, His Excellency Mohammed Khairat, together with the Consul General Mr. Yasser Abid, and the Deputy Consul General Mr. Mohammed Fagal, together with Bishop Daniel of the Coptic Orthodox Church. So we're very grateful for your presence. Thank you for joining us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first I want to begin by thanking all of you for coming today. A graduation ceremony is a very important celebration of achievement, the achievements, of course, of our graduands, but also of the university. So it's very good that you're here, and I'm very grateful that you are. I also want to especially thank those of you who have brought children with you. It's good for them that they're here, because their memories of today and of the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate the successes of today's graduands. And their presence is also good for us, because every celebration is enhanced by the presence, indeed the noise, of children. Now, unless children have changed enormously since I was a child, few of them will be able to stay quiet, particularly the tiny tots, or still for the duration of the ceremony. I don't expect them to, I don't want them to, and I don't want parents to worry if they don't. They are most welcome, and please let them run around and make as much commotion as they like. And I see we also have a few babes in arms. They're also welcome, and they are entitled to scream their lungs off, because we know from long experience that if a baby wails through a graduation ceremony, they're back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. So it's to be encouraged, not discouraged. The most important thing today is that our graduands have a great day. And you will only have a great day, you will only enjoy the day if you relax. Now, most of you do look happy and relaxed, but one or two of you look so nervous you'd think you're about to go into the examination room rather than collect your degree. Truly, nothing can go wrong today. Well, that's not quite right. Sometimes people come up here and get so excited that they trip over. That's fine. That's why all these highly paid people are here. That's their job, to pick you up and send you on safely on your way. So just sit back, relax and enjoy the day, because you deserve to. You deserve to take great pride in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to congratulate all of you who are here today as the guests of our graduands, because if you think about it for just a moment, the very fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. And I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role. I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, of course, it won't come as a surprise to you to learn that Macquarie is not one of those 500. We're a young university. We celebrated our 50th Jubilee just 4 years ago in 2014. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. Those of us who went to school in New South Wales were taught that Macquarie was a great builder, and it's true, he was. But his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. His greatest legacy was the ethos he established, much to the annoyance of the then British authorities, of an egalitarian society, because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony there be no distinction between the free and the freed that was the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And that is a legacy that here at Macquarie we will always aim to maintain and honour. After our first 54 years, we now have more than 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in 142 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're now ranked in the top 2% of the world's universities. From our beginnings, we have defied the traditional boundaries of academia. We've pioneered and continue to pioneer learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students play a major role in their own learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn. We're also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research with world-changing impact, is brought to life by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solutions to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. And that, by the way, is not some idle boast. I'm sure everyone in this room at some stage makes use of Wi-Fi. Now, it might surprise you to know that Wi-Fi was not developed by scientists at Oxford University or Harvard University or Melbourne or Sydney or the ANU. No, Wi-Fi was developed by Macquarie University engineers and scientists in conjunction with scientists from the CSIRO. Now, that's something that I believe both Macquarie University and Australia can be very, very proud of. And the research that is currently underway at Macquarie is no less significant. I'm sure all of you will be aware of the very recent death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and a marvellous and inspiring man. The disease he fought almost all of his life was motor neurone disease, and I'm proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is at the forefront. In fact, I think it's fair to say we are the Australian leader in helping to find a cure for that dreadful disease. You might have read recently of some shark attacks in Western Australia, and a month or two before that of some shark attacks on the north coast of New South Wales. Well, we've even got researchers working on an invention that will prevent shark attacks on surfers. So I think all those young people and not so young people riding their surfboards up and down the Australian coast will be very pleased to know that. In fact, we have countless research projects underway, all of which have enormous potential to add to the world's knowledge and well-being. We're also proud of some of our new or relatively new facilities, including our Australian Hearing Hub, our library and our hospital. We are the only university in Australia which owns and operates its own hospital. But we have a lot more to do to make sure that all of our facilities are fit for purpose. And that's why when you arrived this morning, you may have thought for a moment that you were visiting a war zone. The big hole in the ground behind me, just outside, is the site of our new central courtyard, which will house new food and beverage facilities, other social and study areas, as well as on-campus student accommodation. A little further away, our arts faculty building, one of our oldest, has been completely gutted and will be replaced by a new arts precinct, which will also include new spaces for our superb museums and galleries. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission. And that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie, always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Well, now, graduands and ladies and gentlemen, it's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Ms. Leslie Lobel. Leslie is the Deputy Secretary in the New South Wales Department of Education and leads cross-sectoral, statewide and national developments in education, spanning early childhood education, schooling and higher education. She shapes state policy and leads negotiations with the Commonwealth over education policy and funding, including agreements worth more than $10 billion over 4 years to New South Wales. She led the New South Wales development of the Gonski school funding reforms and new state funding arrangements for early childhood education. She's a member of major education boards and committees and chairs the National Schools Policy Group on behalf of Australian education ministers and chief executives. Her leadership in public policy was recognised when she was named one of Australia's 100 Women of Influence in 2013 in the Australian Financial Review Westpac Awards. Prior to joining the Department of Education, she was appointed by President Bill Clinton to several key roles, including Chief of Staff to the Labor Secretary Robert Reich and to senior executive positions in the US Department of Labor. She has a Master's in Public Administration and a Bachelor of Science from Cornell University. I now invite Leslie to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Leslie Lobel.
Thank you very much. It's really terrific to be here today on such an exciting occasion. And thank you very much, colleagues. So before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we do meet on traditional land and pay my respects to elders past and present and to any Aboriginal people here today. And thank you very much for that welcome to country. It was beautiful. Really appreciated that. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Your Grace Bishop Daniel, members of the Diplomatic Corps and other distinguished guests, Executive Dean, members of the faculty, families, friends, and most of all, graduands. I want to talk to you today about the share price of the Tesla car company. You might not have expected that, but before I do, let me share a story with you. On a recent visit to a preschool, a teacher told me of a little boy who was about to start school. And she was teaching him colors. She showed him a chart of basic colors, and pointing to green, she asked him what the name of that color was. And he looked at it for a while, and she could see he was struggling, and finally he said, Shrek. So right over this hall, around this hall, I can imagine certain light bulbs going on. The cognitive scientists in the room are going to be thinking about the neural pathways that led to that little boy's answer. The psychologists will be thinking about his problem-solving strategy, and the linguists will just be flipping out. But all of you, and especially the educators, will be thinking what I thought when I heard that story. That little boy has quite a steep mountain to climb. In 8 years' time, he will be in year 7, where he'll be expected to discuss and analyze Australia's involvement in World War II. In 13 years' time, as he sits down to his HSC maths exam, he'll need to have come to grips with the New South Wales 2-unit syllabus, and he'll need to have mastered, for example, and I quote, applications of calculus to the physical world, such as the determination of the distance of a particle from a given point, given its acceleration or velocity as a function of time, together with appropriate initial conditions. But he'll not only need to know all of that, he'll need to know more, because the stakes are higher than they've ever been. Computers and automation have already wiped out many jobs that once supported unskilled wage earners, and many semi-skilled occupations have gone as well. Now, artificial intelligence is invading highly skilled and white-collar professions such as law or accounting, medicine, or financial services. So what should our schools be doing to prepare young people, including that little boy, for a future transformed by intelligent machines? That's a question that has driven me and my colleagues for the last couple of years at the Department of Education, and we have a major initiative that we've been calling Education for a Changing World. We're motivated and with a sense of great urgency because we're facing the educational challenges, let's say, of 2030, when last year's kindergartner will enter the world of university or work. Which brings me to Tesla's share price. Right now, it's tanking. The main reason for that is that the company is falling woefully short of its production targets for its new mass-market Tesla Model 3 electric car. Tesla is pouring money in, but cars aren't coming out. To build the new vehicle, Elon Musk constructed a gigantic new assembly line to be powered by artificial intelligence and run exclusively by robots. To use Musk's own description, the factory would be, quote, a machine to build machines. The result, and again I'm quoting Mr. Musk, was production hell. As he himself now admits, full automation was a blunder. Too many robots, not enough people. And time will tell if it's a blunder that will cost him the company. There are plenty of people that could have told Mr. Musk that the most powerful applications of AI are those that pair the strengths of human and machine intelligence. And that takes us to the issue at the heart of our Education for a Changing World project. What will be the role of humans in a world where computers have all the answers? One simple response is this: the role of humans is to ask the questions and to challenge the answers. Computers cannot imagine or speculate, and these are the very activities that have driven knowledge forward since humans first walked upright. A computer can beat any living human at chess and even at the game of Go, but will struggle to discuss the weather. Artificial intelligence doesn't give computers the empathy or collaborative skills to torture test an idea in a group, to toss up an alternative, and to happily throw it away for an even better one from somebody else. And computers are not critical thinkers. They can crunch terabytes of economic data, but have no feel for the social principles behind economic discussions. They can make staggeringly fast decisions, but can't reflect on the ethical choices coded into the algorithms that drive those decisions. And that's why our project has been such a fascinating journey. We've reached out to educators, futurists, business people, philosophers, and IT experts to ask them, what do we need to be doing so that schools can respond to that future? I have to tell you that few of them mention coding. For today's children to thrive in the world beyond 2030, they will certainly need an understanding of technology, and they'll need skills in science and maths. But if that's all we give them, we have failed them, because computers can beat them at that game almost every time. We discovered that by looking into the future takes us back to questions as old as philosophy. What does it mean to be human? What is the true purpose of education? The curriculum needs to equip our students to play to their human strengths so that people and machines can work together to solve problems that neither can alone. They will need to learn how to collaborate with others on a problem, and that entails empathy, curiosity, leadership, and perseverance. The capacity to explain and to listen, to challenge and to adjust, to analyze what's known and to search for what's new. They will need to become tireless, discriminating, lifelong learners. And they will need to be able to critically evaluate information and understand the ethical dimensions of machine-driven decisions, to be able to engage in big ideas that underpin the subjects in the curriculum, and to be able to grapple with the issues that the world will throw at them every day as they move forward. That is the mountain that lies ahead for our little boy. It will take quite a team to get him to the top. We'll need people with deep insights into the unique properties of the human mind and into human behavior. We'll need people and experts who understand how we communicate and how we acquire and build the miraculous capacity that is natural language. And of course, we will need great educators, leaders who are up to the challenge of the education for a 21st century, and teachers with the skills and the inspiration to make it a reality. These are all people who deepen our insights into our own natures, whose work helps us to dream and to live up to and even surpass our vision of our best selves. They are the people in the hall today, people who've committed themselves to the human sciences. My very best wishes to you all.
Well, thank you, Leslie, for a marvellous occasional address. When you were talking about the little boy who was asked to identify a colour, that reminded me of a little boy. He's not little now, he's an adult, but when he was learning to tell the time, his parents were very encouraging of him, and they told me this, and so I said to him, now Joey, I said, what's the time now? And he looked at me as though I was an idiot and looked up at the wall. He said, why are you asking me? Can't you see the clock on the wall? So anyway, thank you for a marvellous occasional address, and I think she deserves another great round of applause. Well, now, graduands, I mentioned a moment ago that there was no reason for you to be worried in the slightest, but this is the one part of the ceremony, the key part of the ceremony, the reason we're here, the conferring of degrees, that makes me just a trifle nervous, because I was informed many years ago by a friend that if I conferred a degree on someone who was not eligible to receive it, there was nothing I could do to take it back. So I have to make absolutely certain that each and every one of you today is qualified to graduate, and I also have to make certain that none of you ever skipped a class and none of you were ever late in submitting an assignment. I'm going to ask the Acting Registrar, Dr. Brad Winden, to give me those ironclad assurances. Brad.
Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
Graduands, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Will you be please seated? Chancellor, the graduates of this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences. I now call on Professor Mary Ryan, Head of Department, Educational Studies of the Faculty of Human Sciences, to present the graduates. Professor Ryan.
Chancellor, the Faculty of Human Sciences hosts a unique combination of disciplines connected by the common purpose of building an understanding of what it means to be human. Our departments of Educational Studies, Psychology, Cognitive Science and Linguistics offer innovative and interdisciplinary teaching programs and research strengths in learning, behaviour, mind and language. We aspire to develop a deeper understanding of the human experience, and deliver graduates with highly developed professional and personal skills. The Department of Educational Studies is shaping the future of education through transformative learning and research across the lifespan. We led the groundbreaking $2.7 million Opening Real Science project, which is improving the way science and maths are taught in schools across Australia. There are also significant research strengths in early childhood, digital learning, language and literacies, leadership, and inclusive and special education. Macquarie's education researchers are uniquely positioned to help shape the complex issues that define the future of humanity. Our future-facing programs have their foundations in interdisciplinary research, and our curriculum allows our students to learn discipline studies from experts across the university. We're excited to host the new Academy of Continuing Professional Development in Education, which offers opportunities for professional learning for teachers and other educators in diverse areas such as emotional health and resilience, reading, scientific thinking, autism, and new technologies for learning. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Education Primary. Serlene Abdallah. Elise Danielle Alt. Georgia Apostolopoulos. Amy Louisiana Backer. Tatiana Josephine Barone Krisnar. Vandita Barot. Samuel Gary Henry Beck. Lauren Kate Berghofer. Brenda Borg. Laura Elizabeth Bradshaw. Shannon Alice Briscoe. Bethany Grace Brown. Catherine Elizabeth Brown. Amy Burgess. Ashley Burt. Erin Leah Burton. Ashley Byers. Jacqueline Joy Byfield. Lauren Cassar. Natalie Chan. Monisha Chandra. Ruby Charlton Schick. Angela Win Shin Chern. Rachel Chung. Bethany Ann Clark. Sophie Clisby. Katie Marie Collins. Lauren Margaret Irene Corish. Bridget Taylor Cork. Jade Margaret Cowell. Claudia Crawley. Marco Credentino. Emma Elizabeth Carroll Cunningham. Rebecca Curaton. Harini Desaniaka. Caitlin Doong. Kimberly Douglas. Eleanor Kate Elton. Isabel Victoria Evans. Dominic Firiolo. Penelope Fitzgerald. Kayla Flaskis. Emma Rose Gardner. Brett Garland. Ruby Glasson. Sarah Ray Gorge. Andrea Rebecca Haji Socratus. Isabella Jane Hampton. Sean Andrew Hanson. Megan Elizabeth Holden. Herthayini Yanapala Chandran. Mariam Qasim. Brittany Kenny. Nicholas Kertes. Cassandra Sunni Lee Kim. Chloe Knight. Komal Bhavna Kumar. Sarah Christine Layson. Gregory Lee. Susan Lee. Isabel Lewis. Carmen Lee. Jennifer Lissikatos. Nicholas Michael Littlejohn. Isabella Ludwig. Jocelyn Wen V. Lee. Huma Hudaib Malik. Reese Andrew Margetts. Alyssa Marquez. Rachel Catherine Marriott. Arbir Mata. Ashwind Mataru. Natalie Therese Matthews. Kelly Lee McMullen. Alexandra McAllister. Nicholas Meredith. Anushka Lily Miller. Carla Mock. Jessica Moran. Jessica Murray. Hyun Young Nam. Friedel Marie Nell. Caitlin Norton. Sasha Novacek. Rachel Ann Clarissa O'Brien. Linda Renee O'Keefe. Jan Sue Erzturk. Matthew Alexander Pasternatsky. Sophie Jacqueline Pentelo. Carissa Phelps. Bethany Pyle. Lauren Coyle. Hina Rahman. Shweta Anjali Ram. Sarah Rowling. Caitlin Rawnsley. Vida Rezus. Alison Michelle Richards. Emily Roden. Emma Claire Rose. Zigorni Rao. Melissa Marie Schmidt. Elise Marie Scotton. Natalie Frances Sengchan. Catherine Shaw. Jenny Shin. Isabella Smith. Madison Helen Smithies. Pia Sodi. Stephanie Louise Solinas. Dana Anelli Stoker. Nathan Andrew Stubbs. Yana Taibar. Shaher Bano Talpur. Natasha Janine Touts. Stephen Tian Zhang. Juk Wen Julie Drin. Ashley Jade Unmark. Catherine Vukovic. Grace Louise Wang. Rebecca Eleanor Ward. Susanna Katia Watts. Sean Alexander Will. Ashley Louise Williams. Hayley Emma Williams. Anita Kam Yi Wu. Jessica Jan. Lisa G.R. Yuan Zhang. Marika Ellen Zorlu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Education, Secondary. Paul Sherry. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Education, Primary. Nathan Bradley Baird. Catherine Alexis Brown. Donna Byrne. Sharon Cooper. Mary Kate Jovenko Costello. Melissa Cecilia De Rosa. Karina Foster. Christy Ria Gatt. Georgina Claire Hendy. Bianca Illich. Jeffrey Graham Keith. Lucy Grace Curry. Georgina Kate Liney. Caitlin Longfield. Joanne Lovell. Rosa Leah Macera. Amy Frances Nunn. Luciana Sasha Schulman. Alexander Christopher Still. Cindy Jahn. Matthew Clive Williamson. Bonnie Ruth Youssef. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Educational Leadership. Derek Brian Champion. Alison Joyce Dean. Dovebear Light. Marielle Lombard. Oh, sorry. Rosa. Marielle's not here by the look of it. Rosa Carolina Pereira de Cavallo. Glenn Stevenson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Kate Barnes for a thesis entitled Educational Leaders in New South Wales Preschools. How are they leading the development and implementation of the educational program in their settings? Joanne Downing for a thesis entitled Extending the Ability to Communicate Effectively via an Online Mobile Application, Connecting Australian Senior Secondary School German and French learners with target language speaking peers to increase language learner development. Lisa Emma Kilgariff for a thesis entitled Agency and Assessment, a critical discourse analysis of the language used around writing in the International Baccalaureate Middle Years program. Minami Uchida for a thesis entitled Learning on the Boundary, the experience of casual relief teachers in New South Wales primary schools. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Rebecca Jane Andrews for a thesis entitled Reminiscing and Future Talk, Early Childhood Educators, Young Children and Their Mothers in Conversation. Dr. Lisa May Clagg for a thesis entitled Ghana, Listening to the Perspectives of Primary School Students on Their School-Based Gardens. Dr. Sine Ernest, for a thesis entitled French Language Learning in Junior Secondary School, Student Perception, Classroom Interaction and Implications for Retention. Congratulations. Dr. Shenouda Solomon Mansour, for a thesis entitled Investigation of Attitudes to Identity, Culture and Language in a Coptic School Community. Dr. Adrian Martin Norman, for a thesis entitled Learning in a MOOC, How People of Differing Backgrounds Regulate Their Learning in a MOOC. Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences.
Chancellor, I call on Dr. Signe Ernest, who has graduated today with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Ernest.
Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and parents and guests. I am privileged to speak on behalf of my fellow graduates here today. I am so very proud of all of us because learning is not a straight line, and I believe that most of us would have experienced its ups and downs. My long-standing relationship with the Macquarie University started 10 years ago when I enrolled in a Diploma of Education course because I needed to gain approval to teach languages in Australia. I graduated on this very same stage 10 years ago. That year of study as a mature age student opened up a whole new world for me and reignited my passion for study. And because I had years of teaching experience, it was a breeze because it meant that I simply had to join the dots, and most of the time it felt exhilarating. So in 2008, armed with the newly acquired knowledge of Australian education system, I was ready to go and teach. But there was one problem. I had increasingly more questions than answers about the poor uptake of language courses in my prospective workplaces. In Estonia, where I come from, we study 3 languages throughout the whole 12 years of schooling and usually speak them fluently by the end of year 12. So my relationship with Macquarie continued and moved into a next stage, and I enrolled in a PhD study to get all my questions answered, which I did, but I also got so much more. In these past 10 years, I have often asked myself whether it has all been worth it, and each time my answer is yes, despite the enormous toll it has taken. The lessons that I have learned have proven more valuable than the hardships at the time. So what I'm about to share with you, maybe as an advice for those people who contemplate undertaking a research degree, and perhaps as a checkpoint to my fellow master and doctoral degree graduates. And if it still hurts, you may want to nod. So here we go. If you are thinking of doing a degree in research, go ahead and do it. Do not doubt yourself for a moment, because where there's a will, there's a way. And a thing called Deus ex machina is real. It does exist. When you're at your utmost despair, something miracle happens and help arrives. And to me, those moments have truly felt like a hand of God, because I would not have been able to do or to conceive them in my wildest dreams. So, trust yourself, follow your inner voice in earnest, and you will be helped along. That said, a research degree, especially a doctorate, is a lonely journey. Even if you have a group of fellow travelers to share it with, even if you're lucky to have a great supervisory team, the most crueling battles are the ones that you fight with your own self. The doubts, the roads that lead to dungeons and not always back, procrastination that becomes your middle name, and then the guilt that grabs you and seemingly never releases its hold. You feel guilty when you are with your family and friends because you're not working on your thesis. You feel equally guilty when you work on your thesis because your family and friends are missing out. But once you get immersed in your findings and you start seeing how it all makes sense, then this emotional high weighs up all the terrible lows. You just have to last till the end. And that's what all of us here today, we did. I would like to congratulate all my fellow graduates and thank everyone who has contributed to our success along the way. I would like to extend a special congratulation to those of us who, like me, have completed their degree in a language other than their native tongue. Our achievement is an outstanding testimony to the advocacy for learning languages. With this, I would like to give a shout out to my fellow graduate, Reverend Dr. Shanouda Mansour, and to our wonderful supervisor, Dr. Robin Maloney, who leads the charge at Macquarie's very own multilingualism research group in transforming Australia's extensive multilingualism into a real asset. My most heartfelt thank you goes to our nearest and dearest. In our hearts, we do know what you have had to sacrifice so that we could have our dreams. Carpe diem, enjoy the moment, and thank you.
Well, congratulations, Signe, on your doctorate and also on your speech. And I'm very, very glad that you didn't despair and that you didn't give in. And of course, today is a day to celebrate your victory in your battle with yourself. And I'm sure everyone who does a PhD goes through those very same emotions. Well done. I really do regret that most of us in Australia are monolingual. I'd give my eye teeth to be bilingual or multilingual, but our education system in my day just didn't really encourage it or even allow it. We had a choice of learning French or nothing, but in my school, the French teacher in third year, I think that's now year 10, no, year 9, he was only one chapter ahead of us in the book. And so we were sort of taught to read it, but never to speak it. And I remember the first time I went to France when I was about 25, I didn't understand a single word that was being spoken to me. Anyway, that's something the Education Department and ministers are going to have to fix up. We're going to start teaching people languages early, right? Good. Okay, I think she deserves another great round of applause. Well, now, that wasn't too bad, was it? That glorious voice, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Angela Brewer. And we're very fortunate at Macquarie University that Angela sings at most of our graduations, but not all, because occasionally she can't make it. So you're very fortunate today that today was one of the occasions when she could come and sing, because when Angela can't make it, I do the singing. And you think I'm joking, don't you? I'm not. I think Angela deserves another great round of applause. And so too to our fabulous musicians, Dr. James Forsyth over there, our organist. And on the Chinese transverse flute, Dr. Chai Chang Ning. I'd also like to thank our alumni volunteers, some of whom are sitting over there and some over there. They come along to our graduations to make sure everything goes smoothly for your graduation. I'm sure you'd like to join your hands in thanking them as well. And sitting behind me are representatives of our academic community who, of course, have been very important during your journey at Macquarie, and I'm sure you'd like to thank them as well. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University. But it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of over 184,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And graduates, please do make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study or attend alumni events, perhaps use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even, if the mood takes you, just to enjoy a stroll through our lovely campus or a picnic down by the lake. Well, now, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the benefit of the world we live in. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who've helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you to help you celebrate today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things. Graduates, would you now please stand? Now I would like you to put your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free. And now I'd like you to turn to face your families and your friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Well, graduates can turn around now, but please don't sit down because we will be moving out in just a few seconds. But I would remind all of you, don't forget your degrees. Pick them up now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, shortly I will lead the official party out through the centre aisle, and we will then be followed in procession by all of the graduates. I would then invite all of you to join the procession down through the centre aisle, out through the grounds and down to the Macquarie, where I hope you will remain for some time and enjoy some light refreshments with us. We have some lovely refreshments for the adults and even better ones for the children. We have pink lemonade, ice creams and fairy floss. And those things are restricted not just to the children, but to everyone up to and exceeding my age. So please join us. Ladies and gentlemen, Would you now please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing until the last graduate has processed out. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.